Still in San Francisco. Watch this. I'm on the roof of the Knox. Yeah, it's funny. Shelter. Dolores is down there. Brannan is back there. Dolores is the Mission District, and then there's, of course, Tenderloin right there. Market Street is right in front of me on that side. I'm at The Hague now. What? At The Hague. The Hague! I've been on the coastlines. It's all news on the news of paperwork. This is science on the coastline. How you cried for some cheapest Jew, was it Dart Mission? Now you have the Dart Mission with the blues. After The Hague, because I'm a genius, and of course after smashing somebody's head on the coastline, kind pays in kind, right? Del Kim Van Dam Luna Park. Gone with the Wind child, 221 July 20th, has been dead for a long time on your coastlines with a smashed in head. I don't speak about her. It's paperwork. We have pink and blues, and you are mentally retarded as people. This morning I saw the 18-year-old from college from one of these buildings across here go like this with a finger. So I can shout the whole day. But let me put it this way. Look. Now I even have a pink triangle up there. In San Francisco, you have hills. They're literally hills. Then you have mountains behind that go very far away. And then down here. You don't see this. Let me show it to you again. That was the ghost lines. Watch this. If you do that many flyings on the mountains, 92 and above, they're together. 92, they're together. If you do that many runnings on the hills, 85, and many times around the world, that girl, you're working elsewhere on the ghost lines, you're not a normal scientist. You're not publishing work like this bitch. I'll probably pay $100,000 a year for fucking education, college. And there's a Hague, literally, on the coastline, 221. The birthday is July the 20th, plum and time. Obviously, after smashing head on the coastlines, you have a particular corn cob and pink or cooler the bodies. The girl's trying to explain to you that after smashing head on the coastlines, there's blues. But then you're such fucking retarded Jews that you were fucking usually after. This is what you are, US. This is what you are. Okay? With that shit on the coastlines, that's old news on the news, so you don't give a shit, right? What happens with The Hague? And that's not mentioning the barons of Fresno on their retirements. So all your fucking hate. And then they bring back Disneyland. They say, oh yeah, man, you were worth every fucking half penny, you were worth everything when you were alive. I don't feel that. I mean, after The Hague in Disney Mall, you're worth it. I say, why? I'm a replacement. I have no pretenses. School told me to shut up. That was a relic. They told me they were blues. What Ubermensch? As byproduct of Super Times, even German aerospace. Speaking about that little point on the coastline still today. They even named their children after me. As extras, I, after some time, couldn't take it anymore. So this is what the US is. And the CIA, unfortunately, lost that intelligence very long ago because they could see it coming. The Hague did happen on the coastlines with those sciences. And I can't change it. I just can't. I was a mermaid. I was literally the leader of that science. Whether it was Russian, whether it was Saudi, whether it was the Polish Egyptian, or whether it was the UN, or whether it was Western Europe that met that girl when she was alive and jumped on the ship that became a banana boat after The Hague. I'm sure there's other ways to screw over the US other than using the proverbial smash and head on the coastline. Hague, Del Kim Van Dam Disneyland relic. All news on the news, gone with the wind. But then again, there are people who think, and then there are the usual bitches. But that's okay. I'm Disneyland, so just make a prostitute out of me, kill me for fun, shut it for John those ducks bears. It's not a problem. We will just sue you another way. Or whatever they do when they get pissed off, to the point of bringing back Disneyland for a blumping time. Especially with that kind of intelligence, we couldn't even call it kind, that pays in kind once The Hague happens on the coastlines. So obviously the only thing I have in common with the original is the eyebrows. Fuck you and your mama and your funky ass daddy bitch. Now, could be anybody in here. A lot of Jews in here, by the way. A lot of them are on social services, on drugs, on fentanyl, to all of this and ox. Yeah, this is the Knox. This is the roof, okay? Alright, Market Street is right there. Mission is there. Where's that? Is that Folsom? That's Howard. And that's Folsom right there. Alright. And this is 6th Street. 5th, 4th, 3rd to Embarcadero, and Mission is in that direction. Okay. Tenderloin is there. So when they bring back masks like mine after The Hague, with a lot of paperwork for one individual, and whoever was with her, yeah, whatever. Alike, you know, the UN was involved with the operations, so it makes you wonder what intel was actually lost in The Hague on the coastlines. Why it's old news on the news, and why your college kids with their fucking PhDs can't reopen that shit on the coastlines, except for some cheap-ass financial banks of the Jews. Genius. That's like a PhD that sits in ass. So that is, fortunately, who the Americans are. You can say the intelligence is the Americans, the masses. You can say the universities. Unfortunately, the universities in Italy and Warsaw and Egypt, and the ones in Russia and Saudi Arabia long ago, I've spoken about that. I don't know about the English, but it seems that the English were decent with me and were on that ship that left with me. Maybe it was a lot of science. Maybe it was extremely heavy science. Maybe there were sponsors and things like that. I know you don't believe that such people exist on the planet, especially females. Girls don't exist. And therefore, it pays in kind, you know. So no, not only the paperwork. Let's say I'm the pin-up girl. Okay, that's it. So that's the old news on the news. The parents are born in pioneer counties beyond the capital cities. They're D1s in the humanitarian relief services, something like the Red Cross, Austria. Later on it became TZOR, and that was USA, CRS, and tanto on the helicopters dropping aid all over Africa, all over Asia, and all over South America. And they were D2s, then they became D1s. The point is also their work, also the pioneer camps beyond the capital cities, the darkness. And their calmness, their personalities. They were very, very calm, Baba and Mama. Very good inside. Everyone liked them there. There was some jealousy in the UN, but not to the point. Anyway, so you come to the US. They're retired. Probably the most famous place in the world, called Fresno, in the desert of California. Funnily enough, they had predicted the Hague on the coastlines before the girl had her head smashed in on the coastlines with the scientists. What left? One way or another, they left. And there's other ways to leave this country. So the pretenses are yours. Now, when I freak out, I have every right to freak out. That I kept my mouth shut at the beginning on the part when I was still a sort of, some people thought Crab was the original. No, she was already a different girl, another girl. Crab, of course, became Crabby after. The Crab, you see, was already different. She already had her head smashed in on the west side. She already was a particular corn cob. So that's the pain you put me through. And then you enjoyed it, Schadenfreude Jr. You enjoyed seeing Disneyland, treating her, because she's not even a human. I'm not a human, you see. A particular pink girl, after The Hague, 221 July 20th, who doesn't deserve to live, because you are, whatever, you have your PhD, piece of paper, whatever you are, college brats or whatever. You pay to go to fucking college to get educated, so your daddies have to die, education, piece of paper, till you die. because you're fucking stupid bitches. Literally. And your hatred is unbelievable after the Hague. Schadenfreude Jr. The hatred you showed to the barons on retirements with your verbal vitriol is where the hanging benches of Lara Quintas and Ali Rec, knowing who the fuck Fresno is. Especially when you know they're fucking retards. Literally. Shows to me that you're fucking assholes. So when they said that the US could have prevented that shit on the coastlines, and it didn't, and it's paying for it, and they don't know how to keep their mouth shut about that, even within the US, and that's not even mentioning the barons of Fresno retirements. That's why they said the US is a piece of shit.